When Bach introduces a B flat, we get one of the most extraordinary chords from this time period coming up in measure 21. This F major 7, which we would associate much more with jazz. So if we come out of this in Bach's world and with his notation of a resolution, the B flat comes in. We hear a little bit of resolution to that chord, and then we hear another unstable chord here, F sharp's diminished 7 chord. To this one, which resolves to G7, which we hear is also going to need resolution to this chord, but it feels like coming from this one that something has resolved. So these are what I'm trying to bring to conscious awareness, that you make conscious choices about how harmonies progress from one to the next. And then that means we also have to be controlling individual voices, because in Bach's rhythm, it happens over the course of 8/16 notes. So in this case, let's say I'm following this C. The next one, that one goes to this D. D. The next one is still D. And that goes back to C. If we went to the top voice, that's more like what Gounod wrote, but we hear the E, F, F, E. But we also hear, in the bass line, we hear C, C, B, C. Each voice has a certain amount of importance, so we have to kind of have, it's almost like you have to have 4 ears, 1, 2, 3, maybe 5, but at least controlling all of them, because they're going from measure to measure. The top voice is easy to keep track of, but often it's the internal voices. That one, certainly want to hear. If we jump down to measure 23, we see the one option. You'll note I wrote in the score, don't pedal here, because the B is dissonant. If you really go from measure 22 into the next harmony, you don't play all of the notes, because you would get this, which sounds quite dissonant and harsh. So to decide which is the harmony note, is it the B, like this? Could be, but I think in fact it's the D half diminished 7th chord. So if we hear the progression, we've heard measure 22, measure 23. I think that's more satisfying. We hear the C as resolving to the B in the next measure.